Okay, I'm recording.
Okay. So you started the video now?
Yes.
So okay. We're a little rough. It's been a while.
Hila's next to me.
Hello.
And we're gonna get started with a story. This story is when I went camping with my fraternity. And it was interesting. Most people don't consider me like a fraternity type person, really, like a frat guy, you know. I don't fit that stereotype very well. Like, I'm wearing a robotics competition shirt. You know, you wouldn't think that I joined a fraternity, but I was part of one. It was an engineering fraternity, so it wasn't even like that.
Wait, you're not in it anymore?
No.
Why?
That's another thing. So I was in this engineering fraternity. The reason I joined was because it was a rough time in my life, and
You were lonely?
they had free food.
Are you serious right now?
For real, yeah. I was in the lounge, and they had like an event where they had food, and I was like, so what's this fraternity business? And I joined that semester.
Because of food?
They had really good chicken nuggets. I mean, they had events, you know, like regional conferences and volunteering and that kind of stuff. Typical, you know, frat stuff. And they also had typical frat stuff like, you know, parties and stuff. I'd go sometimes, like if I wasn't busy with homework or something, like I would like drink iced tea instead of like, you know,
That is the nerdiest
vodka or whatever.
sentence in the world. Like, not even the whole paragraph is
Yeah, so that was my relationship with the fraternity. I became friends with the people. I really liked that it gave me networking opportunities. I'm such a nerd. Let me get out of here first. There's one of the universities. Should I call out universities? Let me not. One of the universities in the region sets up a camping trip and wants nearby chapters to go to it. So we end up making the drive over. It's on the opposite coast and going to this campsite. And basically the entire way over, I'm hyped. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, leadership development, like recruitment ideas and networking, you know, all these activities in my head. Like, yeah, I'm hyped to meet other brothers and like, you know, learn what they're doing in their chapters. So we get to the campsite.
Were you the only one thinking this?
And step out. I didn't really talk to anyone. I was just like listening to something in my headphones
That
and
sounds
like
really sad.
yeah. And I was reading a book and like listening to stuff in my headphones. So I didn't really talk to anyone on the way over. I didn't. We get out and like I take my headphones out and literally the first thing anyone says is like, "So who's going for a beer run?" And I was like, "No." That sums up the trip. Basically, that sums up the camping trip. The campsite. It was like I didn't really feel like we were camping. Because we were like 2 blocks from a Publix. It wasn't really like we were in the wilderness, but whatever. Since they get the fire going, they get the grill going, some people go out for beer, and I'm just there like, so are we going to talk about like leadership or something? No one wanted to talk about leadership, just me. So I was like, okay, me and my non-drinking self is going to have a great time. We got there, it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. By 8, everyone is wasted. Like, super wasted. And, like, the sun's not even down. And I'm just there, like, drinking Capri Sun, like... Oh, talking about Publix. It's a supermarket, grocery store. The Publix nearby, okay, wait. The fraternity that I was in, it's a co-ed fraternity. So there were guys and girls, brothers. We were all brothers, but there were guys and girls in the mix. Yeah. Talking about Publix. This girl went to Publix and got a Publix sub. I was kind of hungry, and they hadn't finished with, like, the hot dogs or whatever. So I was, like, sliding in, like, hey, how about that sub? And she was not in the mood to share. She was like, nah, get your own sub. You know, but I was trying to, like, sweet talk her or whatever, like, hey, nah, you don't have to be like that. Sharing is caring, whatever. Like, we're all brothers here. Why don't you look out for a friend? Like, you can give me a little bit of that, you know, nah, you're not getting any of this. And like, she keeps eating her sub, whatever. And like, I just brush it off. We talk about something else and then she ends up leaving. The thing is, there's another brother who was there. He was older. He was like maybe 25 or something. I don't know. He had a full beard, like big guy. He overheard like the second half of that conversation. So he thought that I was like trying to holler at her and like I was getting like turned down majorly, which wasn't the case, but he thought that was going on.
But I mean, you kind of were.
Right,
She
kind
wasn't
of.
giving
I mean,
herself.
by my standards, yes.
Yeah.
So he comes over to me like to console me, and he's like, "Bro, you know, it happens to the best of us. Like, don't worry about it. You'll get your chance. And I'm just there like, thanks, man. Thanks. And then he's like, so when you gonna get some drinks in ya, man? And he does that thing that drunk people do when they like try to sell you on like alcohol and like how fun it is and stuff. And I was just like, okay, like, so that happened. And then, you know, they started up with the drinking games, and that's not my thing. So I was there with my Hawaiian Punch while everyone else had like their not Hawaiian Punch. We played like a few games, Ring of Fire, like I don't remember what other games. There's this one guy sitting next to me, he was talking like normal, but in the middle of his sentence, there was this noise that came out of him, like noise. I don't even remember what he was talking about. This guy was out of it, everyone was gone, except for me. But like this guy's talking, and then like you hear this noise, and then everyone scoots away. And I was next to him on the other side, like, what's going on? He throws up in my direction on my shorts, like, on me. Like, no one communicated to me that that noise meant that. I mean, there was no time for me to dodge it. Like, I just took it. And my shorts, like, were never the same after that.
Wait, you kept them?
It was a rough time in my life, Hila.
This story always makes me laugh so hard I'm crying.
So
it's not over.
So yeah, it's not over. So I was a little, you know, upset, but whatever. Like, I went to my tent, changed my shorts, came back out. It was gross. Is like not what I signed up for when I was thinking fraternity camping trip. But I guess it's, I should have expected that. Everyone is kind of like falling asleep, passing out, whatever. At this time, it was probably like 2 a.m. and I was just like chilling with my Capri Sun. Then the girl from before, the public sub girl, she walks up to me. No one else was around. It was just like me sitting at the picnic table. And then she walks up like, hey, big guy. I don't know what she said, but she was trying to like be, I don't know, like seductive. That's what that meant.
Wow, okay.
She was like, hey, what's up? Like, I was like not about it. Like, I was like, nah. But then I see the guy, the wisdom bearded guy from before, behind her, like, go ahead, she wants you, man, yeah. So I couldn't let him down. So I was just like, all right, let's go with this, see where this goes. So I was like, hey, what's up? You got any space in your tent? That's what she asks me. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I have space in my tent. She was like, for one more? Yeah, there's space for one more. I mean, it's a little tight, but, you know, I guess I could make it work. And she's like, you'd be able to squeeze one more person in your tent? Yeah, let's do this. And she was like, all right, Alex, get over here. He has space for one more in his tent. And I was like, you gotta get over here, Alex. Let's get to my tent, whatever. And like, we both pick him up off the ground and like drag him to my tent and like throw him in. And I was like, whatever, like it's been a long night. I'm just gonna go to sleep too. I don't care. So I get in the tent with Alex. So I get in the tent, like sleep head to foot, so it's not gay. And I'm just chilling, like there are mosquitoes and Alex is burping, so it smells gross. And like I just couldn't fall asleep. It wasn't comfortable. And I was just like thinking about my life and like my choices, like looking at the roof of the tent. And then like I hear that noise. And I'm like, no! Alex threw up on my shorts, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me, twice in one night, why does this happen to me?
Where are you and Alex friends?
No. I didn't even check on Alex or anything when I left the tent. PSA, if someone throws up and they're not conscious, make sure they're not choking on their vomit.
That's really serious, actually.
But Alex didn't die, so.
But whose tent was it?
It was one of our guys from FGCU.
Oh, so was it in your tent?
Right.
So you just let some random Alex go
Yeah.
not even your tent?
Yeah. And I didn't even warn my tent mate or like wake him up about Alex. Like he woke up to Alex being mad at him for throwing up on him.
Wait, so Alex threw up on himself?
Yeah, and he blamed the other guy and like wanted to fight him.
That's hilarious. Oh Lord, drunk people are too funny.
I didn't have a backup pair of shorts after that. I thought that one backup pair was enough. Foolish me. So what I did was I convinced like the 2 or 3 other people who were awake to go to the beach. We drove to the beach at like 4 a.m. I swam in the beach and like kind of cleaned my shorts up. And me swimming in the beach, that was like a transcendental experience for me. Like I was just like floating in the ocean, looking at the stars, and I felt like I was one with the universe. Like that was the best swim I have ever had in my life.
I feel like this whole time you were just high.
If I like drowned that night and the rest of this is a dream, I would not be surprised. Like that's how good of a swim it was.
That's terrifying, actually.
Yeah, got back to the campsite. It was like 7 a.m. I still hadn't slept. It was a mess. But yeah, I went back home that afternoon, and I mean, that's it. That's the story. Thanks for listening to my story. Like the video if you liked it.
God,
Yeah.
it's been too long. Man.
Yeah,
You
like the
still
video.
watch you?
Well, not really. And share this video if you thought it was nice. Okay, I put
You thought it was. Why not? Like, if they've ever been that drunk that they threw up on strangers.
Have you ever been drunk enough to throw up on a stranger? If so, share this video. Thank you for watching and subscribe. I touched the lens.
Oh, Josh.
I'm sorry.
Movies and video games from 2015. No! Embrace yourself.